Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we'll be solving Codeforces round 898 div 4 problem G. Okay, pause the video, read the question and then we can proceed to the solution. Okay, what question is saying that we are given a string S that will consist only of characters A and B. Okay, and now we can perform two types of operation, and for each operation we'll get one coin. When we perform one operation we get one coin. Now what are the operation is saying that we can pick a substring AB and change it to BC and get one coin, or similarly we can pick the substring BA and change it to CB and can get a coin. Now our objective is what is the most number of coins we can get. Okay, so what question is saying that we'll be given some, just give me a minute. So what question is saying ki we'll be given some string S. Okay, and now we can pick a substring AB and then we can replace it with BC. Similarly we can pick a substring BA and we can replace it with CB. Okay, so before proceeding, let's notice one thing, that it is evident that from both these operations it seems that, or it is evident that we can always have an extra B. Like whenever we are replacing AB or BA, then we are ending up with one B. That means the number of B will remain same. B will remain same. Okay, do we have any profit from this? No, but what we can see over here, that the number of A keeps on decreases. So for one replacement, number of A decreases by 1. And we know that for any coin, like either performing for this operation and or this operation, we need 1A, right? So from here what we can say, that the maximum number of coins, how many coins we can get, that will be at max A. Okay, so is that clear? I'll repeat it again. So for one operation we are using 1A and we are not getting any another A. So similarly here we are using 1A and not getting any another A. But for B we are using 1B, we are getting 1B. Here also we are using 1B, we are getting 1B. But for A we are using 1A, but we are just losing in 1A in one operation. So at max how many operation we can do such that we keep losing 1A? That is total number of A. Okay, that, so there is one possibility, that what is the maximum number of points that we can get? The maximum number of A. So let's denote by n of A. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Now let's say see over here. So we have what we know, that if we have AB, then it can be replaced by BC, and for BA we can replace it by CB. So let's say if I have something like this money A, and at the end I have a B, then what can I do? I can always pick this AB from the end, and then it can be replaced by BC, and then again this AB can be taken at, then again this AB. Okay, so what we are seeing over here is, if there are continuous A and there is B at the end, then we can get how many coins? These A coins, because we can always take one AB, we can replace with PC, and then again take this A, this B, and again replace it with PC, then again take this one A, this B, and replace with BC. So in total, so let's say there are 5 A's, so if we will get 5 coins. Okay, now what we see over here, what we have seen over here is, if there are A's before B, then we can get as many coins as much A are there. Now let's consider a scenario, if there is B first and there is A again. Now can we replace this BA with CB? Yes, we can replace this, and once we will replace it, we'll get one coin. Okay, so if we'll replace this BA with CB, then again what it will become, we can take this B from here and this A from here, and again it will become BA, and then we can again replace it from CB and we'll get one more coin. Similarly we can take this B, this A, and get one more coin. Similarly this will be like CB, and then again. So what we are seeing over here is, it doesn't matter if A are in front of B or A are after B, so we can get as many coins as much A's are there. Okay, now let's say if there is A in front as well and in back as well. Now we know that once we will take this, we can convert all of these A's all of this A by using simply what? By replacing AB with BC. So if we'll replace this AB with BC, then we can replace this as well, this A as well, and this A as well. But this C will block the flow backwards. So what we are seeing over here is, if there is single B, if there is a single B, then we can either go this way or we can either go this way. Now, let's say if there are two B, okay, if there are two B's and now there are some A's in front of or backwards. Okay, now what we can do is we can take one B in the left, sorry, on the right, and one B on the left. So this B can be used to convert all these A's to BC, and similarly this BA can be used to convert into CB similarly. So what we can see from here is, if we have two B's, two consecutive B's, then it doesn't matter, sorry, so the total number of points we will get will be equal to the total number of, sorry guys, so total number of coins will be equal to the total A's. Now let's say if there are A, some A, and then again some A, then here B, and then again some A, then again B, some B, and then some A. Okay, now just tell me one thing, just tell me one thing, that if we have 2B over here, I'll just change the color. If we have 2B over here, can we just transfer 1B to the left and 1B to the right, and can this be used to convert all this A? Think carefully. I'm asking, can this B be used to convert all this A? Yes, definitely. If there is an extra B, that will benefit us. There is no loss, because we are always end up, whenever we replace BA, we always end up with CB. So even if there is B in between, it won't harm us. It won't break our flow. We can use then this B. Okay. So what I'm saying, that if there are two B, it doesn't matter what is the pattern. Similarly on the left side as well, if there are so many A's and B's, if we have two B's, then we can always convert all A's. All A's can be converted to C or B, whatever the operation we are performing it, and in the finally all A can be, consumed in the operation. So total coins or total profit will be total number of A's. Okay, that will be our total profit. Okay, now, so this was the scenario when we have two consecutive B's. But let's say there are not two consecutive B at any place. So it's something, let's consider a scenario something like this: B A B A and something B. Okay. So now we know that this B can be used to convert the numbers either in the front, or sorry, to convert the A's or to perform a operation on the A's either in its left or on the right. But we can't go both ways. Okay, similarly for this B, we can go this side or this side, or similarly for this B, it go this side or this side. But if, let's say, if I introduced one more B over here, then what we are seeing, that we can always go this way, left, and again left, and again left. Or if this was of the pattern, suppose let's say this was the pattern formed, some B and then B and some B and then again some A, then is in this scenario what we can go, we can choose this B and go right, again this B and then right, again this B and right, again this B in the right. So in both the scenarios, what we are seeing over here is, if the number of groups of A, so let's break down the solution first. What we already deduced is, if there are two consecutive B's, then we can always achieve our maximum possible answer, that is total number of A's. So I'll just write out in first thing, if two consecutive B's, then answer will be total number of A's, total A's, that will be answer. Okay, second case, if, yeah, there is one base case as well. So let's say if A equals to 0, A in the sense that total number of A is equals to 0, or total number of B equal to 0. So in this scenario, we won't be able to replace or perform any operation. So we will simply return 0. Now, this is the third scenario. So what we are seeing is B is always occurring single. Okay, so B occurs in single. So now what we can do is we can either go left or either right depending on our situation. So, and yeah, there is one more situation we can say that, like let's say if there is B then some A then B some A then B some A, and yeah, so what we are seeing that B's are surrounding, so either we can go left or we can go right. We will always have our total A's converted, or total number of operations will be equal to the total number of A's we have. Okay, so in both three scenarios what we are getting is total A's can be converted. Now consider one more scenario, something like this is the A, this is B, this is A, this is B, and this is A, in the sense that there can be many A's, group of A basically. So in this scenario what I can do, I can either go for this B, I can either go this left or this left, sorry, right. Similarly for this B I can go left or I can go right. If there are many more groups, but the format would be same, there will be starting and ending with A, and B will be only in between, and there will be only one B at one place. Okay, because we have already seen that if there are two B's, consecutive two B's, then we will always have our answer as total number of A's. So there are only one B. Okay, because also if there is zero B, then we can simply return zero, because we won't be able to perform any operation. Now, so this is our last scenario. So if this is the case, then for this particular B, what I can do, I can go left or I can go right. Similarly for this B, I can go left or I can go right. If we'll see that if there are, this is the scenario where number of groups of, if let's say number of groups of A is equals to 4, that means number of group of B will be equal to, tell me, always will be less than 2, less than it, so it will be 2. So basically 4 is not possible basically over here, because sorry, my bad, it will be 3, because for each of the vacant places we will have one B. Okay, and there are 4 groups, so there are 3 gaps in between. Okay, now for each gaps we know the, either we can go left or we can go right. So at max what we can see from here is, if there are 4 groups and there are only 3 B's, or there are 4 groups of A and there are only 3 B, then what we can do, we can take at max 3 groups, take at max 3 groups, or at max how many groups, at max groups equals to number of B's. Okay, so what is the best scenario in this case? So let's say there were 10 groups of A, then what we can do, we can just sort by the value, like by the value in the sense keep the number of A occurring together. So let's say there were 2A, then there were 5A, so like the whatever, and there was a single A. So what we can do is, out of all these 10 groups, the one group with minimum number of A can be excluded and rest can be taken. Okay, just just listen carefully what I am saying is, let's say these are represented as group of A. Okay, and here is B. Okay, here also it's a B, and B will also only occur in single form. Okay, or single character. So I can take this one. For this one also I can either take this one or take this one. I mean for also this first B as well, we have choices. Similarly, so what we can do is, we can take all all groups of A except one group. So I mean, like if we will cancel this one, then we can take right of the first B. Similarly, we can take right of the second B. Similarly, third right and fourth right. So in that case, but it's, let's say there is a scenario where if we want to neglect the some middle, okay, some middle group of A. Let's say we want to neglect it. Then what we'll do, in the left of it we can simply go left, and right of it we can simply go right. So if there are, so out of all the groups of A, we what we'll do, the group with minimum number of A's can be excluded and rest can be taken. Okay, I hope the solution will be clear. I'll just summarize everything. So what was the first scenario? The first scenario was, if there were two B's, if there are two B's consecutively, then our answer will be total number of A's, whatever the total number of A's That will be our answer. If either b equals to 0 or a equals to 0, in that scenario what will have, answer will be 0. Now if the number of groups of b, okay, now there is no two consecutive b and neither 0 b, that means there will be b's occurring just single time. Okay, so what we'll have, that we'll have number of groups of a, number of groups of a, okay, and then we will have number of groups of b. So I mean there is a possibility that if b can be something like this, or b can be something like here and here, or something like this, b dash b, okay, or in this case it can also be something like this. Okay, so we'll have number of groups of a and b, and if the number of groups is greater than or equal to, then we'll have total A's as our answer, total A's as our answer. Else else if number of b, group of b is less than a, and we know that it will always be one less. Okay, so number of group of b will be always one less in this scenario. So in that scenario what we will have answer as total A's minus the smallest group in the sense ki the group of a which have the smallest number of A's. Okay, so that will be our answer. Let's go to the coding part. So what I did was first took the input, and then I have kept the count of A and B, and also if there are groups of A, we can push them into this vector V. Now C is 0, C is basically, C will denote what was the size of latest group or the group of the A, okay, and F will be the variable to denote if we have found two consecutive B's. Okay, so we'll run the loop from the 0. Now we'll check if I is greater than 0, then only we'll be able to check for I and I minus 1th character. So we'll check if both the characters are B, then we can simply set F1 to true. We cannot break over here because we need to calculate the count of A. Okay, that's why we are not breaking over here. Okay, now if S of I equals to B, then we will have to calculate increase the count of B by 1. And if C is greater than 0, and remember what C was taking count of, C was taking out of the size of the group. Okay, so if that is greater than 0, that means we are previously we are at A and now we have come to B. Okay, so in that scenario we'll push that size to V and mark C as 0. Else also we can mark C as 0. Else if S of I equals to A, then we can increase C and CA. CAA is overall count, C plus plus, or basically C is the count of the current group or the previous group. Okay, or if we are in it A, then it is the current group only. And now if the loop ends and if C is greater than 0, that means it may happen that in the end there were 5 A's or like A's. Okay, so we'll have to push that as well. Okay, now if CA or CB equals to 0, then we can simply return 0 because no operation is possible. Now if F is true, that means there are two B's consecutively. So in that scenario we can simply return the total number of A's which is stored at CA. Okay, now if size of, and now we know that there are no two consecutive B's, that means all the B have occurred singly at a single places. So if the count of B is greater than V dot size, that we have seen that in that way also, we can simply return CA, total number of A's, as our answer. Else we can sort the group size because in the V we have already put the size of each group, and then we have sorted this group and the first element will be smallest, so we are just subtracting that from the total count and we can simply return that as our answer, print that as our answer. Okay, we can just go copy paste this and see if the solution is accepted. Let's try to submit it. Ah, it will be AC solution. Yeah, so it is accepted. Let me know if you guys have any doubt on this question. Okay, thank you guys.